Assalamu alaikum. I hope so you are doing fine. I am Dr. Muhammad Ali Rabani and we'll talk about the artery of the dorsum of the foot. Technically, these are not arteries. That's the one major artery, that is the dorsal spadius artery. While talking about any artery, you should know the origin, termination point. In between them, there are root and relations and their branches. So let us talk about the origin point. Origin is not any anatomical demarcation seen here, but it's a landmark origin. Before this point, this is called the anterior tibial artery. After this point, that is called the dorsalis pedis artery. What is this point? This point is the line joining the lateral malleolus with the medial malleolus. So this is a dorsalis pedis artery. Let us first discuss its ending point and then we'll discuss its relation. It starts between these two and goes and where it dips between the two, like here at this point. So at this point where it dips between the two toes to go to the plantar aspect of the foot, that is the point where it ends. So this is the origin point between the two malleoli, and here is the termination point where it is dipping into the plantar aspect of the foot. Let's discuss its branches first, then we'll do its root too. Its branches are the prominent one include these branches. These are the two tarsal arteries, medial tarsal artery, lateral tarsal artery. As we go on, there is this branch that is called the arcuate artery, and the arcuate artery gives rise to these arteries. These are called metatarsal arteries. So metatarsal artery number 2, 3 and 4, dorsal metatarsal artery, are coming from here. And here at this point it dips into the plantar aspect. It becomes the perforating artery, it becomes a deep plantar artery. Basically it anastomosis with the deep plantar artery or becomes deep plantar artery. Here is another branch, that is the first dorsal metatarsal artery. So these are its branches including the medial and lateral tarsal arteries, first metatarsal artery, arcuate artery, and indirectly through arcuate arteries there is a second, third and fourth metatarsal arteries. Relations, it will have superficial, deep and medial lateral relations. Superficially, as you can see, two things are prominent. Here there will be crossing of extensor hallucis longus tendon, that will be related superficially, and then there is this inferior extensor retinaculum, this will be related superficially. Then there will be deep fascia, superficial fascia and skin on the top. On the deep relation, you can see the bones on which it is running, and that will include the talus bone and navicular bone, and then there will be heads of the metatarsal. Medial and lateral, as you can see within the anterior compartment or just at this point, the extensor hallucis crosses and comes to the medial aspect, so it lies between these two muscles. Now on the medial aspect there is extensor hallucis longus, and on the lateral aspect there is extensor digitorum longus. And as we move further, we can say on the medial aspect there is extensor hallucis longus, and on the medial aspect there will be extensor hallucis brevis. So these muscles are on the medial aspect, extensor digitorum longus and extensor hallucis brevis, and on the lateral aspect there is, I have misspoken, sorry. On the medial aspects there is extensor hallucis longus, and on the lateral aspects there is extensor digitorum longus and extensor hallucis brevis. And last relation, throughout its path it is related laterally to, on the lateral aspect of the artery there is running of deep peroneal nerve, and as you go on it will convert into the medial branch of deep peroneal nerve. So these are relation medially. So these are its relations. Superficially, retinaculum hallucis, deep the bones. Medially there is extensor hallucis, laterally throughout the length there is deep peroneal and its medial branch, and then the muscles are extensor digitorum longus and flexor hallucis brevis. So these are the structures that are about the dorsal pedis artery. This artery, surface landmark of this artery is very important. You are very frequently asked between which two structure it is lying and where do you palpate it, and it is very practically important because you want to palpate the artery to know if there is any compartment syndrome, any compression in the anterior compartment or extensor compartment of leg. So that's what Peronis deep dorsal spadias artery. Thank you so much for listening. For any questions, suggestion, feedback, do mention in the comments, and follow us for the next video that will be regarding the nerve.